All right, so here we are on the second Hyperfly podcast. Today we have world champion Isaque Bahiense from live from Rio. How's it going, Isaque?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
I'm doing great, man. How has training been?
My training was really hard. We don't stop in this month. Everybody's like vacation right now, but we still training in São Paulo. Uh, I'm very excited and very happy for this year.
So you didn't take any time off for Christmas or New Year's or anything like that?
Yeah, but it was like really, really fast, you know. I just going like to Rio de Janeiro just for one day, and then back to São Paulo on the training. And today's Friday. I training morning, and evening I come to Rio. I'll stay here Saturday and Sunday, and then back to São Paulo again to train hard.
Wow, man, you're a beast. That's awesome.
Yeah, hard work and enjoy a little bit.
That's great, man. That's what it takes, right?
Yeah.
So we want to go back to and just kind of learn a little bit about you and your history. A lot of people don't know about you. You're a world champion, but how can you tell us about kind of like how you got into jiu-jitsu? I know you weren't always alliance, and then just like what was that process like? Coming up through the ranks.
Yeah, of course. Uh, I started in jiu-jitsu when I was 11, 12 years old, in my hometown, Rio de Janeiro, Bangu. And I mean, always in the streets, like play, joke with my friends. And my first coach, he was Fabio Andrade from Nova União, and he have one project in Bangu. And every day when he go into the gym, he looked to me, hey, let's go train. And then I always say, oh, sorry, I don't have a gi. I wanna, but my family can't buy a gi for me. And then he one day say, hey, go into the gym on Monday. I have one gi for you. And I go into the gym. When I was there, I put the gi and it changed my life. Uh, I'm like every day after my first day, every day I go in the gym and they're like, oh man, I'm in love with jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And I remember 2 weeks was my first tournament. And I did a post in my Instagram about this. I don't have like my family never helped me with money, because it's
Hmm.
like it's a poor family, and I'm always like work with like 11 years old and to pay my competitions, and I go into the competition and I lost, and I back to the gym and train more. After 3 weeks, is my second tournament. I lost again, and then I back to the gym training. My next competition, my coach looked to me and they say, "Hey, Isaac, you are very good today. You promise you win." And it was like very important for me. And I say, "Yes, I will." And this day I win. I won. And after this, I love in this feeling, and I just like training. And then my dad and my mom, they say, oh, let's move for another place.
Uh-huh.
And we move for another place, and I stopped with jiu-jitsu. I stopped
Mm.
with jiu-jitsu, and for like 6 months. And my dad and my mom like broke. They don't like together, and it was like a really hard for me, for myself. I was really young, like 12 years old, and this time I started to work again, so to help my mom because my mom was with 4 kids,
Mm.
and like 3 months after we back to Bangu. And I'm always like in the street. And my first coach told me, "Hey, Isaac, let's go training again." And I said, "No, I don't want no more. I don't want no more." And one day he told me, "Hey, give him the gift because I will give for another kid. And I cry because I'm shy because my dad sell my gi. I really wanna back to train, but my dad sell, and I don't know how I'll talk with you about this. And
Wow.
he say that's okay, no problem. Going to the gym next week, and I back to the gym and the training, and after this I never stop. And after this my dad like I don't after this my mom and my dad like broke.
Mm-hmm.
And after this I forgot my dad, and my first coach was like a really really important for me. He was like a dad for
Mm-hmm.
me. And after this I back to train, and I won a lot of tournaments in Brazil. 2010 I watched the World Championship, the Black Belt finals, and I told for me, man, next week I need to be there. I don't know what I will do, but next year I will be there. And
Mm.
after this, I worked, I talk with friends. Hey, I need help. I wanna fight the World Championship next year.
Yeah.
I was like orange belt, It
Ah,
was crazy. And I meet, do you know Bruno Basto?
of course. Yeah.
Yeah, I meet him, and he was in Brazil with students. And they look to me and they say, "Hey, I will buy your ticket for Dallas, and
Wow.
you need to be there with us like for 5 months for training."
Wow.
And it was like really great for me, really really great. And 2011 i, I was in world championship, and I lost my finals in the juvenile one.
Mm.
And then I go into Dallas and the training with Bruno Bast and his students. And it's, I think, was the most important thing happening in my career,
Mm.
because after this I say, hey man, is this what I want for my life? I can move to USA, I can stay here, teacher, and I have a good life, and
Right.
change my family life. And then I back to Brazil and train again. And it was 2012. So it was like amazing for me. I won the Brazilian nationals, and then going to worlds again, and I won the class and the open class.
Wow.
And in the worlds no get two, and this time I meet in coursing from Hyperfly my first time,
Mm-hmm.
and it was in 2012. It's my first time when I meet Chrissy, and after this I close with Hyperfly.
Mm-hmm.
And 2013 was my first year fight with adults, and I won the World Pro, and then I won the World Championship again, and then I get my purple belt. And then
So
when I get my, yeah,
hang on a sec. So what I know you were training with Fabio Andrade and you were with Bruno Bastos, but at this time, what team were you a part of?
Nova União.
Okay, so you're still Nova União at this point.
Yes, yes, yes.
And then you get your purple belt. So wait, going back real quick, you had two
Yeah, of
weeks of
course.
training. You had 2 weeks of training before you were in your first tournament.
Yeah, no, yes, I lost in 2 weeks. I lost, and then after two
Insane.
weeks, my second I lost, and my number three event I won.
That's so crazy, man. For you had like not almost like a little over a month, and you won a jiu-jitsu tournament with like 1 month of training.
And because in Brazil, it's like every week you have tournaments, and it's fun. Everybody wanna like let's go compete. So
Yeah.
in Brazil, uh, it's a project,
Mm.
social project. sometimes is the goal is like competition, you know. It's not like I train because I love jiu-jitsu. I train
Right.
because I want a competition, you know. Everybody in my gym is like the same, was the same, you know. In
Right.
this time, everybody, oh man, I want a competition, I want a competition.
So now it's 2013. You won worlds as a juvenile, as a blue belt in 2012, weight and open class, and now you're an adult. You just got your purple belt 2013, and you really just kind of signed with Hyperfly, maybe a year or two with Hyperfly, right?
Yeah, it was 2012. Afterwards, uh, I get like a gig, you know, and I back to Brazil, training, and I was back to USA in November for Worlds No Gi. And at this time, I really, really like close with Hyperfly. I'm meeting the people, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It was
So
like 2012.
So now let's talk about your purple belt and let's
Yeah.
talk about the rest of your competition, like until you up to the world championship that you won in 2018. What was that like? You know, where you were training. Tell us about like you switched to Alliance. Tell us about things like that.
Yeah, it was like the most difficult thing on my life when I decided to change for São Paulo. 2014, I was in São Paulo, and I meet Fabio and Lange, and they doing a project in São Paulo, in Alliance São Paulo,
Hmm.
to get some athletes. And they talk with me, hey Isaac, we have a project here, and we want to get you, and you stay here and train with us. And I talk with like my first coach, my friends, and my coach. He don't like happy, you know, with this,
Right.
but he told me, "Hey, Isaac, it's your choice. I don't wanna talk. If I wanna talk, go. Uh, it, uh, I don't want this, but I don't wanna say for you, oh, stay here, because if you stay here and you lost, uh, I will be sad with this, and it's your choice." And I chose to move for São Paulo, and I moved to São Paulo. I was 18 years old, and when I arrived in São Paulo, I remember I have like 6 months. I like cry every day. Every
Mm.
day I cry because my first coach don't talk more with me, my friends, and I can't say I have a friend because I just like arrive in São Paulo, you know.
Hmm.
And I don't talk with my mom. Hey, my mom, I'm sad here because my mom was in Rio de Janeiro, and
Hmm.
it was like really, really hard for me. And I remember my first 6 months in São Paulo, I lost in the finals, and I lost. Always I lost, you know. And
Wow.
after my first 6 months, I told me, hey man, give up about this pressure. You move, nothing will back. Let's focus on life, in yourself. And after this, I get my brown belt. When I get my brown belt, uh, I don't have like a more pressure, you know, in my back, because in my mind, I'm all every day say, oh, I needed to prove this was the best thing for my life, and
Right.
it's making me sad, you know. And
Right.
after I give up about this feeling, was like my life was like happy again. Jiu-jitsu was jiu-jitsu back to be happy for me, you know.
Right.
And I get my brown belt 2015,
Man,
and
hang
yeah,
on. It just that must be so tough, you know, like you leave your family, leave your friends, and you had to make this hard choice that I think a lot of people, especially in Brazil, are faced with. You know, you have to do what's best for you, right?
yeah,
And maybe going to Alliance was your opportunity to really get the training, the people around you, the coaching that you needed, right? So that's amazing, man. So go ahead, continue.
Yeah, it was like I told you for my first call. It's not sure I moved to São Paulo and I win everything,
Mm,
but I believe there I have more opportunity. I have a lot people's who win what I wanna win. I wanna win. I have a good example. And where I come from, when you're doing like 18 years old, the dad and mom say, "Hey, you need to work. You need help at home.
mm,
Uh, it is not a work. Jiu-jitsu not the work. Jiu-jitsu don't give money for you, you
right.
know." And I remember 2014. My training for Words No Gi was me and the more three friends. You know,
Really, that's
Uh,
it.
yeah. And in São Paulo, I have like 50 the guys on the mats.
Yeah. Wow.
It's like 20 black belts. And it was hard, but if I see today, was some things very important for me. And then I get my brown belt. I and I was to I was I was to New York this time, and I stayed in New York for like 40 days, and I training with Marcelo, Mateus, Satava, Dylan Dennis, Jenny Grippo, Marcos Tinoco, and that was amazing experience for me. I won the Pan American Ogi class and the open class, and then I won the World's Nogi 2, and another year was 2016, and 2016 was amazing for me. I won the European Championship. I lost in the final Pan American, and I won Brazilian Nationals class and open class. I won the World Pro, and I won the Worlds, and I lost in the finals for Nicholas. And couple months after, I won one tournament. I beat Gabriel Warges. I was in my brown belt. It's a event. It's a brown with black. And in this year, he's won the world championship. And
Mm.
it was like very important for my confidence. I told I told for me, hey man, I'm ready. I wanna the black belt.
So you were a brown
And
belt and you beat Gabriel Arges, who was a black belt at the time.
yes, and it was the first year he's won the world championship.
Right.
You know, and then I get my black belt in 2006 December 2016, and 2017 was my first year in the black belt.
Hmm.
Was good. I beat a lot of like legend, in this
Mahal, I remember.
2000s. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it was Pans 2017. You beat Hamilo, right?
Yeah. It was amazing feeling for me, and I won like Copa Podio, the
Hmm.
lightweight. Uh, I won another tournaments, but the words I lost in uh, I lost before my semifinals,
Mm.
and this time was really hard for me because my first time when I was in the worlds was 2011, and I'm always in the podium. And at this time, I don't back for my home with a medal. It's that's hard. It's my
Yeah.
first year in the black belt. I lost to Jaime Canuto,
Mm.
and then uh, in November 2017, I I think 2017 was a year for me very important because I learning a lot. I
Mm.
was travel a lot. 2017 was the most is the year what I travel a lot,
Mm.
and 2018 was like a really amazing year for me. I
Yeah.
remember in my first 6 months I compete like 11 tournaments, and I lost just one and the first tournament.
Wow.
And then I won everything, and I win the world championship, and it was like amazing feeling for me. It was
Yeah.
like, hey man, everything what I do makes sense. After I won the world championship 2018, it was like it's a beautiful, it
Man,
was
was
beautiful.
something one thing that not many people know is that after you won 2018, you took your gold medal and you went over to your first coach, Fabio Andrade, and you gave him the medal. Is that right?
Yeah. It's why I did this in the moment, because I remember when I am like a kid, and we like always say, "Oh, when I will be the black belt, I won the world championship," and I just wanna like give it to him, something to him, uh, feeling, oh, I'm making. No, sorry. I I'm proud,
Yeah, he was part of the journey, right? He started
Yeah,
the journey for you.
he's but he gave the medal for my mom,
Uh,
We
nice.
don't talk. We don't talk today, but here is really sad with my choice, to move to Alliance. But he of course he was the most important person in my life, because he gave me a gift when I was a kid. It's not like, oh man, this man's a champion. Why you helping him? You know,
A
he
little bit
helped
of
me
an
when
issue
I
here.
was, yeah, he was the most important person in my life.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. That's really an amazing story. That's beautiful,
Yeah.
really. So let's go back to Hyperfly. So a lot of people jump around brands when they come
Uh-huh.
into jiu-jitsu. They're not loyal to one brand, but since 2011 or 12, since you were a juvenile blue belt, you've been with one brand, Hyperfly. What has that
Yeah.
process been like? What has it been like working with them?
Uh, my first situation with the Hyperfly was in World Pro 2012.
Hmm.
I was there, and I coached for one friend, and this friend fight against Xande Ribeiro, and in another side was Pascal. And he looked to me, and I say, "Hey man, you don't like Sean?" And I was like 16 years old. Now I like Sean, but my friend fight against him. And are you crazy, man? You need coach Sean, because they is really family, If
Right.
you stay with they is really friend family. And 1 month after, I meet Kirsty for my first time,
Okay. Well, let's wait. Let's say, for people who don't know, Pascal is the founder of Hyperfly, and back then, I believe they used to sponsor Shanji. So
Yes.
the founder saw you rooting against Shanji and called you out on it.
Yeah, yes,
Okay.
it was funny. Because he's like a big in
Yeah.
my mind, hey man. And 1 month after, I meet Kirsty in World Championship.
Okay.
And I won the class and the open class. And after this, I talk with Kirsty and his fam. And the Hyperfly wise, and he is very important for me, because always they believe in my projects. They always like sponsor. I'm not like always a winning, in my life. Like 1 year, 2014 and the 15 was like terrible for me, about the results. And they always together with me, not just about athletes, about like a person. Like
Right.
when I was like a purple belt. They told me, course told me, hey Isaac, I will help more you, and because I have my family is very important for me, and my family was, I think, the most motivation for me. I'm
Mhm.
always like uh, fight to won and changed my life and changed my life, my family life,
Right.
and I'm always learning a lot with they. It's not just about like sponsored, it's about like a family. It's about hard work. It's about to believe in your dream. Is you can't hit hard.
100%, man. That's like that. They really do, believe that, and it's, if you know about You Can't Teach Hard, the first thing in the mantra of You Can't Teach Hard is it's not about the medals. It's not about your accomplishments. It's about overcoming the challenges and just keep rising. And
Yeah,
listening to your story, man, it just sounds like that's you.
yeah.
That's you.
Yeah. I love I love they because they have it with his life. It's about to always work. It's about is what you say. It's not about just the medal. It's about the life.
Right. So now you're doing something really cool. It's you came up through social projects. That's how you got into jiu-jitsu. And now, once you became a world champion, hopefully you have more than one gi now. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
good. Good, man. So, but you started the Dream Art project. So tell us about that. It sounds like an amazing thing that you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, I always have idea about to have one project because I think I will give for jiu-jitsu a little bit of what jiu-jitsu make for me for my life, And 2018, I met one friend. I was teaching in one gym in São Paulo, and he looked some issues about me, and he talked with me and another friend. Hey, let's go eat and talk a little bit, and we're going to eat, and then you talk about my history, about the project, and we like in this day you like about to do something like really small, for athletes to
Mm.
give like house, food, and training. How house, food, and the training. And after we meet, we talk a lot, like every day. Oh, let's do this and let's do this, and we we get some athletes from Brazil to
Hmm.
move to São Paulo and stay there and training with us. And we never like think about to do something like big. It's always like let's do something really small, just to help, you know just to help. And then we start with like 5 athletes,
Hmm.
and today we have like a 30 athletes in São Paulo. Yeah, and we have like more 10 athletes in Manaus.
So what are these athletes like when they're part of the Dream Art project? What does that mean? Like, what do they get when they're part of the project?
Uh, what we gave to the athletes?
Yeah, they get a
Yeah,
house of training.
we gave a house, train, uh, English class. We have we have a physiotherapy.
Physical therapy.
Yes, we have a doctor. if they need to do a surgery, we have to. We have like travels, uh, travels to competition. You know, we have a
So
travel to competition.
if
Uh,
they're hurt, they get their medical expenses paid for, and you cover their travel and competition expenses as well.
yes,
Wow,
yes,
that's amazing, man. Amazing.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And the project have we have a school too. You know, we have because it's normal when you athletes you say, "Oh man, I stopped to in my school and you just training." And
Mm.
I wanna like everybody finish the school. And 2019, I think like 13 athletes finished the school. You know,
So
uh,
education as well.
sorry.
They're also getting an education as well.
Yes,
Wow,
yes.
this is
Me
great.
too.
And
Me
you as
too.
well.
Yeah, last year because when I was 16 years old, I stopped with school.
Oh wow, this is amazing, man. This is incredible.
Yeah, and then now your sponsor told, hey, with education, I will help you with everything. You know.
This is unbelievable, man. And some of the can you just name some of the guys who are, or girls who are on the team? I know you have some really big names too.
Yes, we have Ana Rodriguez,
Mm-hmm.
Arod in the black belt.
A-Rod, uh-huh.
Yeah, Arod. And we have in the brown belt Eric Muniz.
Eunice,
Yes, Anderson Muniz, Alex Muniz, and Lucas Gilbert. And
Alberto,
yes, Luis Paulo, and and the Cobrinha in the brown belt. In the purple belt, we have a lot of good athletes. You know,
right.
we have Salenko, Rui, Anderson, Iago, Paula, Salah,
Incredible.
Jonathan, Gabriel,
Incredibles.
Lucas, Isaías, Nathan, and then in our blue belt, and we have a Mikael Galvão too because he training in Manaus
So
with
so
Nels Galvão.
the team to be on Dreamart, you don't have to be on Alliance, is that right?
It's the Dream Arch. Uh, is like I train in Alliance, you know,
Okay.
and when we compete for Alliance,
I see. Okay.
you know, because we train together in São Paulo.
But you have some of the very best names in Brazil, the best up and comers, and they're getting some of the best training, some of the best physical therapy, strength and conditioning, medical expenses,
Yeah.
education, English class. That's like, now is this, and are you the head coach?
Yes, and it's me and one friend is Gabriel Figueiro. He
Now,
helped me a lot too.
and do you think that like this is kind of your way because you're a product of a project, a social
Yeah,
project, right? Now this is
yeah,
your way of giving back, right?
yes, yes.
What do you think if you wouldn't have gotten into that social project when you were 10 or 11 years old, where do you think you would be right now?
Ah, it's hard. Uh,
If you never found jujitsu, like where do you think you would
it,
be?
today,
Yeah.
and of course, I was die. Oh, what's the name? This one I forget.
In jail, handcuffs.
Yes, Angel. My dad was Angel 10 years,
Wow. So
and
if the project you never got into the social project, you may be dead or in jail.
yeah, I think so. Yes, because I am very like intense, what I do. And when I come from, it's very, very easy to make something like bad things.
So really, this new project that you've started, you are helping these people in so many different ways that they might not even know. It could be just getting them off the street or getting them out of something that could take them down a bad path, aside from all the other stuff that you're providing for them, right?
Yes, yes, of course. It was like really, really different for me, because my what's I think for me always was, oh, I will doing something like small.
Right.
And the project like now is so big, and is it what I want for my future? It was like a challenge for me. It's not about uh to go in the tournament and win.
Right.
We won a good persons here, a good examples, he and the training with us. It's not about like just a champion. The
Right.
project is not about you win, you are here. We have a lot of athletes here that won competition, and
Mhm.
our goal is about to give structure for they wanna like we have like a lot of athletes and a lot of don't have like support
Right.
and a lot of like talents,
Right.
and we wanna give the support so they can like fly.
That's amazing, man. That's congratulations, and man, that's a really cool thing that you're doing. Um,
Really.
I know Hyperfly made some gis for you guys. Is that right?
Yeah, we close now. Hyperfly sponsor Dream Yard. It was like really amazing, for me because they always like believe in my purpose, and is his purpose too,
Hmm.
to help, and we are together to Dream Yard too. Hyperfly is amazing.
That's great, man. So now looking forward toward 2020, you have a lot of responsibility now.
Yeah.
You have your own team, and you're trying to not only build a good competition team, but a team of good people. So you're trying to
Yes.
be an example. What are your plans now? Are you still going to compete? What's 2020 look like for you?
Yes, of course. I'm still compete. I'm really like young. I have a 24 years old. Uh, my goal right now, my most important goal is competition. For myself. And but I will competition little bit less because
Okay.
I have another responsibility. And doing arts get a lot of like time, because we have like a third athletes here, but it's not about just just third athletes because they have a family, they have a problem, and we don't work just with like a third athletes,
Mm,
uh, and I will like I am right now training a lot because I want to compete less, but I want to have more quality, in my championships. I don't want to more like going there and I compete. I want to like because when we have like last year I compete my first 6 months I compete like 10 times,
hmm.
and sometimes you can't like stop to focus. Oh, I will focus in this technique. I will focus in my future up because you like automatic, You
Right.
just go, and just go. And right now I'm focusing my trainings, and I want to like improve my jiu-jitsu, and I have Dream Arts have a lot of competition right now. This month they will compete next week in Grand Slam in Abu Dhabi, and then they will compete in European, and
Mm,
I will go into to coach to help, because we're going for Abu Dhabi with 6 athletes, and
Mm-hmm.
for Lisbon with 20 athletes.
And you are only going to coach at
Yes,
European Championship.
yes. And in February they have like a who is one. We
Mhm.
have 4 athletes
Oh,
in
wow.
this event. Yeah, I going, and then in March uh, maybe I have a super fight against Braguinha.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have this super fight, I will compete at Panamas,
Okay.
and then I have a World Pro, Brazilian Nationals, and then Worlds again.
That we hear that a lot. You know, a lot of times guys compete too frequently and they can't like process what they did. And
Yeah.
uh, I think your close friend Nicholas Marigali, he's in a good
He's
example.
smart. He's smart.
Smart. He only is like, I'm only going to compete at like the world championship, really,
Yes.
and then he won. So because you
Yes.
focus on all the little things that you're doing, when you're competing too often, you can't correct the things. You just keep going, right?
Yeah. He is smart. He's like focused in the big event. He puts
Right.
in his energy. He puts in his life, in his training. To he have 100% in world championship, because sometimes the guys like train a lot, compete a lot. When you are in the world championship in the best like day of the year,
Hmm.
you like tired, you are like injured, you don't feeling 100%.
Right.
Yeah,
And and if you're going to be coaching this new Dream Art team, it's really hard to focus on you competing, and then also you have, guys.
yeah, yes,
Oh, so
yes, because it's more hard coach,
yeah,
because you feeling a lot about a lot of students. It's not about just one student, it's about a lot of students. you know
right. Well, man, this has been great, man. Like you're doing awesome things down in Brazil, and we really do wish you the best of luck. It's been a beautiful story watching you come to, become a world champion and now become a leader with the Dream Art. So, best of luck to you, man, in 2020 with all your new endeavors that you're doing, and we look forward to seeing you on the mat.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for the support. Thank you. This year will be like really, really amazing for me, for doing art, for my family. I'm very happy and very, very excited.
Awesome, Isaac. Thank you so much, man. Take care.
Thank you, brother. Take care.